For those that are uninitiated, maybe, to where this quest is and what it's about, we have been recruited by a visiting archmage and their paladin top friend. Still don't trust that person. To gather the ingredients so that Airedale and its residents can participate in the annual bake-off. We will make the most fantabulous cake. I'm not quite sure how the shark meat's going to work into that yet, but that's not my problem. I just steal things. We have thus far dealt with some berserkers, murdered a shark in the most slow, horrifying way we possibly could. Went to the Feywild, picked up some grains that looked like other grains, but they weren't really those grains. They were one of the kind of plants that pretends to be other plants. Stumbled across the Dragonborn sorceress that really doesn't like any of Airedale's residents, because every time we appear, something goes terribly wrong. This time, Sully punched their door in, and then they got into a fight with the Dryad. But that did get us magical fruit from the Dryad's Grove, so that's very cool. Speaking of the Grove, there was a mammoth who wanted to eat all of our delicious magical fruit. We could not allow that. We were very generous, however, and allowed the mammoth to have one piece of fruit. At one point, we did run across a couple of fighty berserkers. We stole a cursed axe from them and then threw it into the sea. Bit of an open-ended question on whether or not that poor berserker is still cursed, but I'm sure we'll find out down the road.
Oh, yep, we will. Because I wrote the follow-up the tarot deck.
Oh my, look forward to that one, folks. I think I covered all the main bits. I didn't mention Mario and Luigi. We ran into Mario and Luigi and then tied them up and did not bury them alive, despite my best efforts.
Very generous of you.
And actually, if I remember correctly, they were in the final scene when we got back to the Meadhall, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. More specifically, General Peter. Sorry, well, General Peter or Peter, depending on how you want to pronounce the bread and the acronym, was in the crowd, as was his boss, whose name I keep forgetting, even though I came up with it.
I was convinced it was Chestnut, but it was Charlotte.
Yeah, that was it, Charlotte.
Charlotte, that was it. You know, because food theming. And you put Charlotte's in Peter, possibly. I don't know. Do you think I know anything about sandwiches?
Put anything in a pizza.
Yeah. I thought it was shallot in English. Maybe in America.
I think
that might just be my pronunciation.
I don't know. In Dutch it's also...
Look, it's French. We refuse to pronounce it properly.
Potato.
It must always be pronounced
We're
potato.
not going to pronounce it in a way that satisfies l'Académie de France, so we won't bother.
If I look at the spelling, just to make sure I'm doing it right, I can give you the Welsh pronunciation, but I can tell you now, it's going to be a little bit gross because it's a start CH.
Go, come on, give us the Welsh pronunciation.
Give me the word, I need to see it.
Charlotte.
Is that
CH?
Oh, it's SH. Okay, never mind then. It's people. Oh, no, double elbow.
Wait, no, wait, it might be CH.
I thought it was CH.
SHALLO.
Things.
Well, S and H don't really go together in Welsh, so I don't know what to do with that.
We're veering off subject, I think.
Chaclot, maybe? Chaclot.
It's no, that's some reason it keeps also correcting to Charlotte.
Interestingly enough,
there's a lot of ways to say it, apparently.
there is a food called chalot, which is the plural of chala, which is a type of bread.
Ah!
Crazy. I think we're getting sidetracked here.
A little bit, yeah.
I think we're supposed to be playing a game. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
We baking.
So yeah, you return. Obviously, as at the end of the last session, you return to the druid making his sort of big speech, which you missed because you literally just got back in time. His paladin friend, ? Announces,
Okay, the contest will be held tomorrow in the forest. We'll see you all there.
And yep.
We're going back
I guess all you
to the
have
forest.
to do. Well, to be fair, all you have to do is take the ingredients to the tavern.
Fair enough.
Quick question. Can we be reminded of how the ingredients were selected? Were we told to get these specific ingredients for the cake?
Basically, you're told to get the whatever high quality ingredients you could get hold of, and were given some leads. So what you recovered was the meat of a sort of a very powerful shark, literally possibly a now extinct megalodon.
Yes.
Oh no.
A very rare cereal, an example of what is known as Bavlavalian mercury, which is basically sort of like a fey plant that tried to mimic a cereal, and so became a very delicious cereal. Because, it basically tried to mimic what humanoids like to eat, and just became,
That plan went horribly right for it.
Was it a fake?
I mean, look it up. It's absolutely fascinating. It's an actual concept.
Yep.
Basically, weeds mimic sort of cereal crops, and mimic it so they don't get weeded out of the fields.
Mhm.
And as a result, they become more like cereal crops and basically evolve into a sort of a pseudo cereal crop and end up cultivated. It's actually where we get rye from.
Oh, I didn't know rye was.
But yep, you recovered that from the Feywilds. What else did you get? Obviously, you broke into the tomb of
Spice.
what's his name? Lord Zimaze, and found some rare spices amongst other things. I think you also got a magical spoon out of it.
Got a magical knife. Not +1, just magical.
Parfait got it.
Oh yeah. Did I give you the rules for that? Yeah, I did. It was the knife. It's a knife of gleaming, so it's always clean.
Yep.
Very hygienic. And of course, you found your way to a grove full of rare fruit. It was a tree that was basically grafted, so various fruits grew on it. So now you have a large pile of exotic fruits. So yep, are you taking these to the tavern, or do you want to just eat them?
Well, I mean, if we take it all back to the tavern, is that just quest done? Is that us finished?
Good job, everyone.
Could be the quickest. Could be a very
Fastest session ever.
short session. Yep, session over. I'm gonna go put my feet up.
Yeah, I think we would take them to the tavern. Yes, although at this point, Naeve is probably salivating at the shark meat that's just right there. It'd be chewy.
I'm sure there'll be leftovers, Knives.
Okay.
Okay. Knives, give me a wisdom saving throw not to try and lick it.
Okay. I'm just going to use this plus my wisdom modifier, which is +1.
Okay.
I was not expecting a thing at this point, so give me a second. 2 + 1, 18.
Okay, yep. You resist the urge to lick the meat.
So tasty looking.
Okay, so as you head into the tavern, it's quite quiet because obviously the crowd had been outside listening to the speech. But you don't see Flutter anywhere. But you do see what's her name again? I had it written down.
Which one?
Wait,
Oh,
I remember it was a
Tattle standing person.
No.
She's not just a tassel stand, and she has her own rich history and life. Oh yeah, Delan. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. It's just the Welsh word for leaf.
Sounded like Mulan.
Well, her full name is Delan Hard, which I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of.
Yeah, I use a little bit of a weird one sometimes, to be fair, and I can never remember because I don't see it that often. Dalen, maybe? They're two E's. There's no A in there at all. So.
Yeah, basically I was just going for Welsh for beautiful leaf. Yeah. I just thought it was funny. It looked like Die Hard.
Lol.
But yeah, she's yep. You basically just see her, just that nervous druid acolyte, hunched over the bar. As you walk in, she looks up but doesn't say anything.
We has food for you now. Yes, you like?
I think we better keep a close eye on this food. Those druids.
Where have you been?
We've been
Where
all over.
have you been?
Hey, we had a week.
I know you're rushing, but you didn't send a message back. You didn't say what's going on. Sorry. I'm just. Anyone who wants to make me an insight check.
I might be proficient in that because if I am, I will.
I have expertise in it, so that is 19.
I'm not, so won't.
Okay, yep. For a 19, she has very obvious bags under her eyes. She possibly hasn't slept for a couple of days now.
Is there a problem?
Well, Tattle was meant to arrange everything, and she didn't leave any notes. She said if she wasn't around to ask Imp, but I think they went off with her, and
Fine, calm down.
Just been trying to do
We have
everything.
the ingredients. We can
You have the
put
ingredients.
this cake
Cool.
together, and you'll be fine. Everything is going to be fine.
Right. All you need to do is the ingredients need processing, and
Dear, spit it out.
Tattle was supposed to be leading the Airedale bake-off team. We don't have a representative now.
Fine, where's Flutter? We'll get Flutter on.
I don't know. He said something about
But is Flora not here at the moment?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. He left a couple of days ago. Needed to bring in the next order of ale. Yep. Someone needs to accompany the shipment back from up north.
Oh, okay. So, is there any is there any procedure about this? Does it have to be a druid that?
No, it's just a representative of the community.
Well, I suppose we've gathered all the ingredients. Okay. It could be us if that's appropriate.
Would you do that? I mean, there is a prize, I hear. I don't know specifically what it is, but there's rumours that the top prize is some druid-made armour, and well, obviously I'll pay you, but there's a pot of cash as well.
I suppose we've done all of the work so far. We might as well finish the job and take all the credit then.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I am down with this plan. I like being paid.
Ash, sounds good.
Can I just have a bit of credit? If it looks like I didn't do anything, they might throw me out of the circle.
But it is because of you that we got recruited in to help, yes? You are organizer.
Yeah.
Like the organizer, supervisor.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This will be fine. So the contest it starts in the morning. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is show up. You'll have to have the ingredients ready by tomorrow, but all you have to do is show up. You just bake a main course. It's just like the main course isn't that important, but it just sort of sets the scene. It's maybe like a bit of a warm up, and then after that you'll have to come up with a cake and bake it. What have you gathered?
I just started laying things out on the table in front of her.
Sully pulls one of those "behold my stuff" kind of poses. Like, whoa.
Just tumbles out a big bag of various foods onto a table.
Parfait stands to the side doing like jazz hands to help show off the food we got.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, is this shark meat?
Yes. It was not very nice shark. It hurt much.
Is that why I had to clear it? Is that why I had to help clear up an entire shark carcass off the beach?
No, that was different shark. We were no.
Roll me deception at disadvantage.
Deception at disadvantage. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Okay. So that's a D20 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Disadvantage.
Plus 6 in deception.
Oh yes, I'm good at being a liar.
Check you out.
Which is good because, I mean, she might be acolyte, but she's still a druid, so she's got that wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
feel like Sully can't give the help action on this because she'd just be like, I must not say anything.
I'll count as helping, actually.
Oh,
not in a bad way. It's like just letting Naeve sell the lie.
Should I make that a straight roll then, or do we want to take the 14?
I'll just tell you now that 14 won't pass.
Well, I know the result now, so I feel bad re-rolling it.
I mean, yeah, but the advantage would only cancel out the disadvantage anyway, so...
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to get.
So am I re-rolling once or not?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, you're stuck with the 14,
anyway,
I think.
Okay, that's fine. I'm happy with this. That is hilarious.
Yep. She just folds her arms and looks at you.
I grin. A nod, yes.
And she just funks her bag of gold on the table.
In fairness,
Yep,
there
thank
was
you for
really no
gathering
other
the
way to get you
ingredients.
shark meat, so...
I can't argue with that. Anyway, yeah. Okay, the shark meat. It looks like you've already prepared it.
We could, given the circumstances.
Yeah, we did some preserving with the brine that we had available to us. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, then all you need to do then is you need to mill this grain and all this fruit and where do you get these spices? Doesn't matter. Fruit and the spices should be fine for tomorrow. All you need to do is mill the grain into flour so you can bake with it, and perfect.
Excellent. Naeve's not know how to do this because Naeve's was city child. How we do this?
Okay, would anyone sort of I know Parfait has a background in agriculture. Anyone else got that sort of thing going on?
Sully, you've probably got the strength to be able to grind the grain down, don't you?
Yeah, her estimation would be it needs 2 big rocks. That's about as technical as she'll get.
I mean, not too far off.
Yeah, I'd say Frida and Parfait, you'd probably actually know how flour is milled, probably.
Sure.
I mean, Frida canonically cooks, and Parfait, am I right in remembering you grew up on a farm?
Yep, grew up on a farm.
In that case, if one of you would like to roll this be?
I'm guessing survival? That's the kind of preparation.
Maybe a tool proficiency if it's to do with food or farming.
You could just call it a tool proficiency and then just roll with proficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Yeah.
You can roll either of you. Well, you can roll with advantage with your tool proficiency. With I guess this would just be intelligence. Just know it.
Okay. Oh no, I'm bad intelligence.
And
I'm not sure how to roll with tool proficiency.
Oh, nat 20.
That works.
Oh.
You just have your proficiency modifiers all.
Yep. Okay, what's that total?
21.
Okay, perfect. So for a 21 total, basically you'll know that firstly the correct way to grind grain into flour is basically to sort of mill it, and Faerdibelle doesn't in fact have a mill, although it's a bit old.
Have to do it by
and
hand.
It hasn't actually been used. Well, it's used to be a windmill, but the wind turbine's broken, so you're going to have to find some way to work the mechanism.
You can turn the millstone by hand, couldn't you?
I am not especially strong.
I'm sure.
Can't be any worse than a horse and cart. So you've got 2 big rocks somewhere that'll do that.
To be fair, a mill is basically just 2 big rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically 2 big disc-shaped rocks. You pour the grain in the middle, and it just sort of gets ground as you spin them around.
So if I remember correctly, the windmill itself is broken, but the millstone inside might still exist and intact, right?
And if
Go and have a look. Just assess the situation.
For a 20, I'll just sort of outline your options. Are basically either 1, you can repair the windmill and get it running, or 2, you can try and operate it manually. Either way, you're going to have to act quickly to get everything ready for tomorrow.
I don't think we have time to mend the windmill. So, yeah, I will continue to push Sully towards just do it by hand, love. Do it. You can do it.
Give it my best shot. See how we go.
Okay, Sully. I'm going to need an athletics check from you then.
Right.
If anyone wants to do anything to help, you can assist.
Oh, that would be good because my first roll was not great.
I don't know what I would do to assist because I am a puny little kobold. What I will say is that if you have any rages left over, that should give you advantage if you use one.
This is true.
Okay.
This is assuming that we're not going to have another combat, by the way.
Well, even then, because the rage will do a thing, I'm like, do I need to like establish where she's doing that? Like in the am I doing that in the mill or outside the mill or in town or?
I'm gonna say you'd have to go into the if you're gonna turn the grindstone, you have to go inside the mill and push it. So
maybe roughly 6
unless you want to
seconds
try
away.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, to be fair, you could rage outside the mill and run in.
And
I mean,
just hope for the
This
best.
is a wonderful mental image.
Take a run up.
Okay. If we are outside the mill, let me just see what I do.
I was going to say, Parfait's probably seen a windmill or two before. He would be generally familiar with how they should be operating, and since this windmill's broken, could probably use some rope and kind of tie somebody to the grindstone in a way that they could more easily spin it around by running in a circle.
Yeah, I'll count that as an assist.
Okay, I did roll rage, so should I keep that?
You can just, you don't have to if you want advantage, but you can still rage if you feel like it.
I might save that then, although I will add that wasn't actually a bad thing. It was just like an AC boost thing. I was like, oh, I didn't wreck anything. Great.
Okay.
Oh God. The roll again and it's even worse. Okay, so the first one was an 8. So it's going to be 12 total.
Okay, I'm going to say that's just about enough to grind all of your grain into flour. But I'm going to say it does take all night, so Sully specifically won't be able to have the benefits of a short rest from resting overnight.
Fair. I don't get that much back from that anyway. So can someone do one of those things like boxers where someone puts a little squirty water in their mouth every now and again?
Yeah.
Come on, Sully, keep it up, love. You can do it.
All right, I'm going. 1, 2, 3, and off again.
Show that mill who's boss.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm no one's boss.
You are, Sully.
Yeah.
You are the boss.
It was still a best than average roll, so I'm not going to give you any exhaustion or anything mean like that.
You. That's the eyes that say, yet.
Anyway, so yep, the sort of flour's ready in the morning. Anyone who wants to can take a short rest and roll any, well, obviously your short rest resources refresh, and you can roll some hit dice if you like.
I'll do that.
But obviously, does anyone want to do anything else overnight?
I would like to collect just a variety of odds and ends, bunch of seasoning stuff, just things that belong at a bake-off, basically. So, eggs. Your sugar. Yes, eggs, but
Oh yeah.
preferably eggs that are like maybe not as good as they might be. If I like dig through the trash, or I find something that looks okay, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, roll me survival to get some
and I want as many
ingredients.
of those as I can get my rubby little hands on. That's sweet.
They've gone full raccoon mode.
And plus minus 1, 2, 3.
Trash dragons.
That was not great. That was an 11.
Okay, I'm gonna say you found one rotten egg.
Excellent.
And Parfait's a little worried that the rival druids might try to mess with our ingredients, so he's going to do his best to hide them overnight, if possible.
Ooh, good plan.
Okay, yep, if you're gonna stand vigil, roll me a perception check, please.
While he's rolling that, can I assume that I did get some of the easier to find stuff like salt and sugar and pepper and vinegar?
Yeah. Pretty much everyone should have that in their pantries, so you found that quite easily. I mean, it's probably actually in the Meadhall. They can provide that for you.
Yeah.
13 perception.
Hey, let me just roll a dice for no particular reason. Don't worry. Yes, Sully. What do you say? 13?
Yep.
Well, someone rolled a 12, so as you're just sort of, I'm sort of imagining this like Homer Simpson guarding his pile of sugar. So yeah, you're sat just in, the ingredients are just in a big pile and you just sat there with like a nail bat or something. And
we need crockery or baking tins.
Yeah, you can roll me,
I mean, Frida could just go home and get a cake plate. She's definitely going to have one.
Yeah, I imagine Frida's already got that. But yep, Parfait. You're just sort of, eyes just sort of dozing, you're just dozing off a bit. Your eyes start to shut. But then you just sort of see movement out of the corner of your eye. And you see a figure in the shadows just tiptoeing towards the pile. What do?
Can they see me? Because of the whole Gloomstalker thing.
Remind me what the Gloomstalker thing does.
If they need dark vision to see me, I am invisible to them.
Okay. Are the lights on?
I would assume no. Parfait is, he prefers the darkness. He's just like, chills in the dark.
Okay, you know what? I'll just roll me a stealth check. You roll your and I'll roll a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Wow. I can't roll anything above a 10. Yep, this is a short, squat, dwarf-like figure. You've seen them, they haven't seen you.
Fire a warning shot at their feet and say, not so fast.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Dirty 20 again.
Okay. Yep, you just fire an arrow right at their feet and they stop dead. Look towards you. No.
You're going to want to turn around and leave the ingredients alone. I went through a lot of trouble and dealt with a pretty nasty shark. So, do yourself a favor and just walk away.
And the figure just starts walking out. Do you want to do anything else, or are you just going to let them leave?
I'm just going to let them leave and watch them to make sure they're actually leaving.
Okay. Yep, well, just say that you successfully, protected the ingredients from being sabotaged. Frida is presumably just sort of gathering her pots and pans.
And some wine.
And some wine, of course.
Essential baking ingredient. Not for the cakes, but for the baking process.
Yeah. It's a catalyst. Naeve is gathering some ingredients. Is Faerdibelle doing anything?
Faerdibelle is just kind of waiting impatiently, looking at the time, kind of going just, why is this taking so long? Just get on with it and get this cake done.
It's night.
Oh, as much as I can.
It's not rocket science.
What's a rocket?
Science.
Roll me history, Sully.
This might be one of the things she just randomly knows. No, it's not. That's a 9 total.
It's a very delicious type of salad.
Oh, lovely. But how do you do science with leaves? Oh, well, I guess that must be a druid thing. Anyway, I'm going, all right? I'm going to be grinding away on this stuff until dawn.
You can have inspiration because I like rocket salad.
Yum, yum. Should be Parfait's favourite as well.
Who gets the inspiration, Sully or Faerdibelle?
Both of you.
Yeah.
By the way, Parfait will make sure to mention that they've attempted to sabotage the ingredients. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Did you see who it was?
I think it was the short one. I'm not good with names.
That little fella from before.
I told you we should have buried them.
Oh, wait, the little dragon person's got a point.
Yeah, that was.
To be fair, you only
shake
told
him
them to
again.
stop following you.
I
You didn't tell them to not do anything else, so.
have many points. They're called thieves.
In any case, it's true. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention, but you were paid 10 GP for the gathering the ingredients.
Is that each or all together?
Altogether. Don't worry, by the way, I'll give you everything you get in Discord at the end.
Yeah, I'll just add it to my notes for now.
Okay, so if you're not doing anything else until the next morning.
I think Sully's just going round and round in circles.
Yep, living a life of solitude until she finds a perfect partner. Sorry. What's that, Faerdibelle?
Faerdibelle goes to bed.
Yep, valid.
Get out the silky eye mask again.
Yeah.
Yeah, an intruder tries to assassinate Faerdibelle in her sleep, but they see the eye mask and think they've been spotted and just flee.
I got natural camouflage.
Yeah. So yep, the following morning, you've got your ingredients, you've got your pots and pans. Oh yeah, Frida, just roll me your proficiency, and do you have any sort of cooking related proficiencies?
My background is cook and baker, guild artisan.
Just say you have your proficiency bonus. Could you just roll me that, please, just to see, just to check what sort of quality pans you managed to dig out?
Okay, that is a 14. It's not the cream of the crop. There's some of the all right ones.
Yep, it's not, you aren't entirely sure what sort of tools you might need, but you've just got a generally good selection. It'll probably do. It won't necessarily give you any advantage though.
The oldie Pyrex.
Yeah, the wizard Pyrex. He was also a champion glassblower.
I've got proficiencies with cook utensils. Could I help selecting some pans?
You were guarding the ingredients, so
no, yeah,
probably not. Okay, so yep, you'll sort of set out. Well, basically, from Meadhall, you'll travel to the forest where everyone's gathered. Obviously, archdruid. Fun fact: I can't remember any names, even ones I wrote myself.
I always get them wrong. In a true Sully way, I just write them phonetically. I had Fatale, but that might be wrong. And then their big friend was Camus?
Here we are. Vital.
There we go.
Yep, archdruid Vital, who's an Azamar wearing a white alabaster mask with some blue and light red highlights, because he worships Morian, the god of life and death, specifically in his aspect as a god of life. His bodyguard, is a Cariat Sunlit. Again, I probably butchered the pronunciation. A tiefling paladin. And of course, they've got their owlbear companion, Camus. They're all, the three of them are stood on the stage. And as you approach, Vital looks at the five of you and says, splendid. The last contestants are here. Cariat, if you'd like to do the honors. And the paladin nods. He raises his the visor on his helmet, and he's his face is just a general tiefling face. He's not got like wicked scars or anything. He's just a guy. And he shouts,
"Presenting the 545th Aetos Bake Off, hosted at Airedale. Our judges tonight will be archdruid Vital."
There's just an audience going, woo, clap, clap, clap.
Yep.
Celebrating.
Yep.
Nuixalade, the Dryad.
And you do indeed notice that the Dryad you met earlier is just sat at a table in front, looking a little bored with the proceedings.
That explains why we're doing it in forest, yes?
Yep, she pretty much can't leave. Although to be fair, it might just be that they were holding it in the forest anyway and decided to sort of invite her to be a judge just out of politeness.
And of course, our special guest judge, Camus the owlbear.
And Camus just sort of squawks, roars.
So cute.
Parfait just goes, who names an owlbear Camel?
I reckon an owlbear can call itself anything it wants.
The paladin sort of wait, you ever hear this? Yes, he would. Looks in your direction and whispers,
"Oh, it's a hill giant name apparently."
Yep. And with that, the archdruid sort of steps in front of Cariat and continues. "Oh, lovely, Cariat. Thank you. Anyway, our competitors, representing Airedale, we of course have do you have a team name?" And looks at the five of you expectantly.
Can't believe you'd put us on the spot like this, Brie. Outrageous.
Faerdibelle's 5.
Like Charlie's Angels, but the budget version.
I don't think, honestly, anyone would argue against it.
Oh, very well. Yes, representing Airedale, Faerdibelle's 5. Like the cheese.
I do face palm though as the name gets accepted.
He's just trying to claim as much credit as possible.
Yes. Well, you'll be, of course, be facing. Let's see. And he just sort of pulls out a list of notes. Oh yes, representing the Ironwood Druids, we have the Ironwood Druids, and you can actually see sat at another sort of one of the sort of benches that's been set up with a sort of a dug-in oven. You can actually see Charlotte and a group of other druids. Charlotte, rather. And he continues, the incumbents, the pastor dwarves. And you can see a group of dwarves, which include General Peter. and of course, last but not least, representing our other hosts, the wooden chef. And stood next to another bench is a basically what looks like a sort of like a humanoid tree stump. It has a small hollow with a pair of glowing eyes, and it just sort of which sort of flash out for a moment as if it's blinking. It doesn't seem to move, but then it sort of just waves at the crowd, who and there's a massive applause.
Woo! Clap, clap.
Sully will be absolutely staring at that humanoid tree stump like, oh my god. That's not a Novar, is it?
Sully, if you would like, you can roll a nature check.
Twitching in the hand. Resist the lumberjack urge.
Oh, the great roll. 11.
Yeah. You're a bit confused why they expect a tree to be such a good chef.
These are my life. And that one is a tree that is alive.
Yeah. Karma could be coming back to haunt you.
But I think in the back of my mind, she does think that might be like her god at the same time. It's like, I don't know how to process that.
Well, anyway, first up will be the main course. Oh, yes, thank you, Carriot. The main course. So, of course, this will be, just a bit of a warm-up, a bit of a taster for the no doubt amazing dessert you'll be cooking. So, yes, main course, you have 1 hour to prepare this. 3, 2, 1, and go. And with that, a klaxon's loud bell sort of rings, and you can. You've got your shark meat. What do you want to do with it?
Well, Parfait being the one that's proficient in the tools required for this, I'm looking at the bunny like, what? You is boss here, I think.
Honestly, little toothy dragon thing, knives, I believe. I'm drawing a blank.
Yep, that's me.
So he starts looking for like, he's not got no people. What's he drawing?
Okay, if anyone wants to roll me a history check, you can sort of use that to maybe come up with something delicious.
Parfait doesn't
to do with shark's meat.
Sorry, I wanted to add that Parfait doesn't eat meat, so he's not really going to be familiar with how to cook meat.
What roll was it? Sorry.
History.
History.
Anyone?
I've got a 14.
Yeah, that'll do. Well, you're about to say something, Naeve.
Do carry on.
Okay. Yep, for a 14, I'm going to say you sort of recall that shark meat is actually it's very sort of gamey, so it can actually be cooked a lot like steak. What that's worth. So maybe with a side dish, a salad, and a nice sauce.
Oh, we could do something fancy and make it look like a cow steak, but we could call it like the Meg. No? Alright. Well, I reckon that might do the archdruid.
Could I roll insight and try and like draw out from the judges what they're looking for?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's like the owlbear might like sushi.
Okay, for a 13, you feel like the owlbear probably likes any sort of meat. The dryad, you aren't really that sure what a dryad would even eat. And of course, the archdruid, You sort of maybe assume an archdruid might actually be a vegetarian, but who knows?
Okay, so Parfait, I think this is a perfect opportunity. If you prepare like a steak of the shark, that would probably work lovely. But let's also go for a side salad that could really satisfy the dryad and the archdruid. I think that would really go down a treat.
That could work.
Rocket science.
Yes, Faerdibelle, maybe you could add some sparkle or something.
Question: aren't we supposed to be baking a cake?
That's the dessert, dear. We've got to do the starters first, the main course. It's a whole meal, you see.
Yeah, so Parfait will pull out his cook's utensils and try to slice up the shark meat appropriate for a steak. He's gonna. I've never actually cooked meat before. How exactly should I cut this up?
Look, I'll tell you what. I'll butcher it. I'll fillet it and I'll chop it into the right shape, and then we can just stick it on the pan, and you can add some seasoning, maybe some salt and some spices we took from the tomb, and we can go from there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Yep. Since you're both collaborating, I'll say one of you can roll with an advantage. This will be your proficiency plus will it be no, I'm gonna say it's wisdom. Cooking's a bit more intuitive.
All right.
I mean, Parfait's the one with the tools, so yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Yep. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Is everyone sort of watching this, or do you want to do something else?
24.
Wow.
Damn.
Did Naeve get enough sufficient bits and bobs for salad?
Oh, you don't want to use Naeve's ingredients for this. Is the floor around where everybody's doing everything empty, or is there like a background of helpers and support staff type thing?
Yeah, basically there's some sort of it's sort of like a marquee. So yep, there's sort of lots of people moving about, and yep, there's just things being moved back and forth. So
marvelous.
Yeah.
What I would like to do is to disappear into that crowd.
Lovely.
And then just whenever I get the opportunity to swap out somebody's something with something else.
Okay.
Salt and sugar being swapped. Spices being replaced with something not as spicy, etc., etc.
Okay. Okay, who are you specifically targeting? Because there's obviously
let's start with the Ironwood Druids.
Okay.
Because they need payback. This is karmic justice.
Absolutely.
I will teach you. Think you sneak by us?
Yep, give me a stealth roll, please.
You want a stealth roll? That is hands down my best skill. D20 plus minus. Oh my god, I'm going to use my inspiration on that because no, that's better. 22.
Okay, that's good. You aren't seen. Could you also give me a perception check, please?
A perception check? Okay, now I'm concerned. Hold on, I need to check my modifier. +3. Okay, not the worst. 18.
Okay. So as you sort of slip in, you realise they're sort of making up an egg batter. To sort of just give a crispy coating to some sort of poultry, although it looks larger than anything you've ever seen. And yep, you just sort of swap one of their eggs around. That's going to make their laugh harder.
Yeah.
And you think you hear them muttering about. You think you hear just sort of overhear them talking about something and doing something other than cooking, but you don't quite notice. Probably nothing.
Mess with the ingredients. I don't want to stick around to risk getting caught, so no, I'll just slip out and return to my team for now.
Okay. So you return to the team. Well, the Ironwood Druids, I'm going to say, because they've been sabotaged, they have no chance of winning this round. I'm going to roll for the other two.
Well, Sanders is toast.
Oh, yeah.
And
Sully and Faerdibelle, are you doing anything, by the way?
All I have is my size. So can I just try getting in people's way?
Yeah, Sully, actually, make me a perception check, please.
Ooh, it's not a bad roll. Dirty 20.
Nice.
Very good. Yep, you just sort of stand there, you don't notice anything untoward. And you doing anything, Faerdibelle?
Faerdibelle has pretty much gone to sidle up next to the most rich, important, upper class looking people around and try to suck up and butter up.
Okay, that would be the archdruid, but obviously since he's a judge that wouldn't be appropriate, so that's probably going to be the paladin.
Yeah, she's actually not particularly saying anything in relation to the competition or to the entry or whatever. She's just generally trying to make friends and weasel.
Okay, yeah, what's her sort of line of attack here? How's she going to try and endear herself to the paladin then?
For a paladin, I think she would kind of talk about religious stuff.
Okay, I'll let you roll diplomacy or religion for that.
Persuasion or religion?
Persuasion, yes. I know which game I'm playing.
I was ready for it this time. I had your back.
That is a 24.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
Religion is one.
Okay, so you sidle up to him, and you're sort of looking at the sigils on his armor, and you're about to actually sort of, guess what god he worships, and you actually correctly sort of realise he's a sort of a very divinely inclined paladin. At the last moment you realise that the sigils on his armour have actually sort of been defaced, and you actually realise that this is an Oathbreaker paladin.
Oh,
Huh.
So you sort of casually bring this up, and he says,
Yes. I'd rather not talk about it, but I had a disagreement with an angel, and yeah, you know what they're like. If you disagree with them, you're evil. If you do what they say, you're good. But yeah.
Yeah, everything always has to be so black and white. Those angels, right?
Yeah.
It's never any.
Yeah, it's an ontological approach. It just doesn't work in this world, but yeah. Luckily, not all angels are good, but not all devils are evil. It's a long story, but yeah.
I'm sure you did the right thing.
Yeah, I'm really lucky my ex was here to, vouch for me.
and the archdruid just looks in their direction and rolls his eyes. It means we're married now.
No.
Does this every time?
Beautiful. Understood that correctly? I might have misunderstood.
They're doing the sort of classic couples joke where one of them says, "Oh, this is my ex," and they reveal that basically this is my ex-fiance, and it's because they're now married, so they're the ex-fiance and now partner,
okay.
actual wedded partner.
Different bonds then.
Yep. It seems like the paladin quite likes you. Quite impressed at how astute you are.
Woo.
Oh yeah, Sully. Question, by the way, you said you got a natural 20. What was the modifier again?
It was a dirty 20 with. Yeah. It was a 19 with +5.
Oh, sorry. 19 plus 5. Oh no, sorry. I meant Sully's roll earlier with the perception check.
Dirty 20. Because it was
it was
16
a dirty
roll.
20.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind then. So yeah. And Frida, just remind. Sorry, not Frida. Parfait. Well, Parfait and Frida really. Just remind me, what was your result?
Result for
this was
the cooking roll. Yeah. It was 20 something.
24, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 24.
Okay, yeah, that's right. 4. Okay, so that's for the spicy.
It's a spicy meatball.
Oh damn. Okay, so you present your cooking to the judges. First up is the Ironwood Druids. Of course, Naeve sabotaged them. So they reveal what's basically it's a sort of they've taken a bread roll, sliced it open. There appears to be a bit of salad in there, maybe some cheese, and they've sort of coated some sort of large poultry in a sort of a batter and breadcrumbs, and fried it. And they seem to have served it with some manner of fried potato. It looks mouth-watering, but they offer it to the owlbear, to Kemu. He sort of sniffs it and just turns his beak up at it. which is impressive considering owls can't smell.
Oh, bears can.
The dryad sort of... Oh, that's true. Well, but they have an owl's head, so who knows? Yep. The dryad looks at it, just sort of pokes it with a fork, tries the potatoes, nods, sniffs the chicken, and sort of just wrinkles her face up. The archdruid just picks the bun up, slide his mask to the side, revealing a bit of a scraggly moustache and a bit of a goatee, and just takes a huge bite of it, and immediately stops and just spits it out. And yep, the Ironwood druids are basically disqualified from that round just because their meal was clearly used spoiled ingredients.
Nice.
Very nice.
Because obviously Naeve succeeded on their stealth check, they have no clue who sabotaged them. So yep. Next up are the pasta dwarves, and they just sort of bring forward just a bowl of it's clearly spaghetti and meatballs. The archdruid tries it, shrugs, it's okay. The dryad sort of agrees, and obviously Camus the owlbear just swallows the entire thing whole, but doesn't seem particularly impressed.
They played it safe.
Yep. The wooden chef slowly pulls out, it's just a salad, but it is an amazing looking salad. It's just teeming with vibrant colours. You just smell sort of you don't know what's on the dressing, but the smells coming out are just phenomenal. The croutons that look like they could be an entire meal on their own. It's just an amazing salad, and the judges don't even sort of give the tree person a chance to hand it to each of them. They just sort of dig in with their forks, and they all look thoroughly impressed. And finally, of course, it's Frida and Parfait's efforts. And yep, you take your mouth-watering shark steak. You've carefully sort of mixed up a sauce and poured it out, just under 3 dots on the plate thing. There's a delicious side salad.
There's a good smear.
Yeah.
Smear.
Yep.
The plate.
Presentation is everything.
Yeah. You've cooked it flawlessly. You've absolutely nailed the placing. And so you present it before Camus. The owlbear sniffs it and just tilts its head in disgust again. You actually look at the and I'm gonna say I'm really sorry for this, because obviously Sully rolled a dirty 20, but I actually got a natural 20 on this roll. If anyone wants to make me an investigation check, you do realise at this point you were sabotaged, and if you want to work out, you can try and work out how at this point.
I am proficient in that. I'll absolutely take that roll.
Faerdibelle's also proficient.
Okay, yeah. Faerdibelle can assist then. Ooh. Well, obviously, one of you can assist. Whoever has the highest score can roll.
Faerdibelle's going to be higher than mine, so Faerdibelle can take the roll at advantage.
With advantage?
Yep.
Yep.
That doesn't help. First is the first roll. Insight, right?
Investigation.
Investigation.
Yeah,
sorry, I got them mixed up. Investigation proficiency for. Did you hear me?
Hey, no, we did not.
I was saying that I mixed them up, and that investigation isn't a proficiency for Faerdibelle after all.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Can I still take the roll at advantage then?
Yeah, I'll still allow it since I've already said. I'd imagine Faerdibelle can just sort of fly above you and help survey the area, so that kind of helps, even if without proficiency.
That's a 12 because I didn't add the 4.
Okay. 12 total.
Yep.
For a 12, you aren't entirely certain. It looks like someone managed to sneak past Sully and you are maybe mess with your spices. You don't know.
Do we have any better luck with the rest of the judges?
The dryad sort of appreciates the quality of the salad, and the archdruid, he can't seem to tell things off, and he enjoys the steak. So they give you a sort of a passing mark, but unfortunately, because of the sabotage, you can't beat out the wooden chef.
We take second. We take those.
So Yep. Luckily, of course, this is just a warm-up round, so
Yes, the proof is in the pudding, dear.
Hey.
Have inspiration.
I thought we were making cake. What's this about pudding?
Cake can be pudding.
Got sugar in it.
It's calm.
Okay.
Parfait's
So,
just kind of got his ears drooped down because he thought he did well, and he's kind of defeated.
It's not your fault, Parfait. It's not your fault. We can do this. We'll come back bigger and better. We shall get this showstopper off the ground.
He'll kind of perk up a bit and just silently follow for a bit. See what's next.
Okay, so after the first round, ironically, everyone breaks for lunch. So the actual baking part of the bake-off will occur in the afternoon. So you have time for a short rest if you want to take it. Well, I wouldn't imagine anyone needs one, but you can if you want to do anything in that time, you can. Or you can just sit around and chill.
Well, Faerdibelle.
Yes.
I think Frida's going to spend the whole time just kind of pep talking Parfait. Like, we can do this, dude. We can pull back.
Okay, you know what? If you want to sort of give Parfait a pep talk, I will actually allow you to make an investigation check if you're sort of thinking about what might have gone wrong.
Okay, that's 12.
Yeah, I'm afraid that won't do it. But all you can really tell is you basically did everything right, and you can't really tell what happened.
Sometimes these things just happen. We can do it better next time. The cake was really going to be the focus of this, so we just need to make sure that we are concentrating and we are fully aware of our surroundings, and everything will go to plan this time. It'll happen. It'll be okay.
Well, you might be right, but it was my first time cooking meat, so there is that.
And you did admirably. We'll work on this. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't let it get you down.
It all looked perfect to me. I would have inhaled that if you put it in front of me.
I mean, there's leftovers. They don't finish it off, so feel free.
Yeah. You are all, obviously you have your own leftovers for the meat, and you are able to just sort of enjoy that for lunch.
Make me an excuse to roll a hit die, I think, actually. Can I put, if it's not gonna be a pest, I kind of want to look at what the wooden chef's doing during the break.
Okay, so yep. If you like, you can make me another nature check.
Okay. Oh no, I thought that was a 3. It's not. 16.
Yep, that'll do it. You actually recognise this is a creature called a woodwode. It's basically a sort of basically the soul of someone's been sort of put into a sort of a wooden, just sort of basically the remains of a tree's had the soul of someone implanted in it, and they've just sort of just become a guardian. And it would seem with their immortality, this person's just learned to become an excellent chef.
Oh, sorry, Miss wooden chef person.
It doesn't say anything. It just looks towards you, and you can just sort of see the lights in its eyes just sort of flash as if it's blinked.
Ooh.
Yep, it's acknowledged your presence.
I was just wondering, all the people here seem to really like you. Do you come to these every year? Have you won it before? Do you have any beef? And I don't mean in like the cooking sense, but do you have any beef with them Ironwood druids or the dwarves and pastor dwarves?
And you can roll me insight to get a bit more information.
7.
Yep, you can't really think of what would motivate a tree, even if it's a haunted tree.
Tree's haunted. Are they ever tried to sabotage you on like the last time you did this? Oh, you never started.
Again, you can roll me insight for more information.
Oh my god, why do I keep rolling absolute? That's like a 4.
Oh no.
Yep. You can tell from the fact that it shakes its head. You don't think anyone tried to sabotage it.
It isn't where.
Did you have to travel far to come in here? Oh, there you are. Alright, well, I'm going to start bothering you, but that sounded look very nice. But may the best team win, and best team is my team.
It just pulls a little salute and seems impressed with your sportsmanship.
She's like, Sully is absolutely fascinated with this tree. Sorry, let everybody go back to what they were doing there.
Yep. So the tree, the woodward, when it's not cooking, just sort of stands with its arms folded, looking very imposing. It's wearing a chef's hat, by the way. That's a very important detail.
Resting on one of the branches.
It's a natural chef's hat. It's just grown.
Oh yeah. It's just like a canopy of leaves.
I try and make out of napkins or something. I try and make some little chef hats for Frida and Parfait.
And Jeremy.
Absolutely. Roll me. Not really anything. Do you have any tool proficiency that would let you sort of try that?
Ooh, I don't know, land vehicles.
Yeah, okay, just make it dexterity sleight of hand then, please.
Okie. Oh my god, my best roll of the night. That's a dirty 20 again, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. You just fold up some nice little, in fact, you'd, just looking, you wouldn't even realise they were made of folded napkins. They actually look like professional chef's hats. So, yep, obviously you've got a bit of a break in between this round and the next one, so what you're doing?
I would like to see if I can get an idea for what the other teams are doing before I... does everybody have access to an oven, some kind of fire? Does anybody have the ingredients ready?
Yeah, make me an investigation check just to sort of gather intel then.
+4. 1d20. Plus minus.
What's relevant?
4.
One thing Sully knows is firewood.
14.
Okay, so for a 14, you just sort of get the general layout. Everyone's got sort of a standardized sort of stove, oven, sort of preparation area with a chopping board. Everyone's sort of brought...
I assume the ovens and stoves and that lot are all wood powered, as it were.
Yeah, they all seem to be wood burning stoves or charcoal based.
Okay, just wanted to double check that. Carry on.
Yep, the wooden chefs appears to sort of some of them are just sort of have actual wood burning fires. The wooden chefs sort of seems to have some sort of it's clearly sort of some sort of magical fire because there's no visible fuel source. The ironwood druids appear to be using charcoal, and the dwarves are just using just wood. Would appear they actually quite like smoking meats.
Okay.
Stand back, let him come.
Oh yeah, and also since you are sort of looking everyone over, make me a perception check, please, Naeve.
I will do this. I just changed my focus over, but plus, what's my perception? 3. Not very perceptive. That's an 8.
Yep, you didn't hear anything. Don't worry about it.
So, step 1 is to steal sugar from the Ironwood faction team.
Okay.
This is a multi-step plan. Because I have to make this complicated.
Okay, yep. Roll me a stealth for that. Actually, no, roll me sleight of hand. Is anyone else doing anything?
6.
I think Frida's gonna set Jeremy up on a little plinth or something on the tabletop as the mascot, and to encourage Parfait to do his best.
Okay, I'm going to say that's going to unnerve anyone approaching you and give them a disadvantage on stealth checks to sneak into your area.
That's amazing, Ben.
Maybe I could set up some sort of steam thing that makes it kind of slowly turn around.
I'm going to say Jeremy still has his angry eyebrows drawn on from the census.
Amazing.
Perfect. Was that a dirty 20, Naeve?
Yes, dirty 20 for my sleight of hand check for the stealing this sugar.
Yep, for a dirty 20, I'm going to say, yep, you've nicked their sugar.
Can I also swap it with salt? Sugar out, salt in.
Okay. For that, I'm going to roll a perception check instead of using their passive perception.
Sure.
That's a bit more involved.
Yep. I was expecting another roll and I was going to be worried.
Ooh. That is a 23. What's it you rolled again? A dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah, so they saw me.
Yeah. And they just sort of, you're just sort of reaching over with the salt, and, you know, they just grasp your hand and glare at you.
Okay. Can I? Because this isn't necessarily a fail state. Can I say, you got me. I have your sugar. I'll just put sugar back and take salt away. Yes, and then I'll go to make the switch as if I'd already made the switch.
Yes,
but
give me a deception check, please.
Deception +6.
Okay, we'll make this just a passive insight.
I don't have inspiration. Can you see that roll, or do you need me to tell you?
Did you make it in Owlbear?
Yeah. I've been making them all in Owlbear, to be honest. It was a natural 1 for a total of 7. And these are druids, so I know that doesn't beat him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was looking for a 12.
Okay, so they know that doesn't pass muster at all.
Yep. They Charlotte just sort of keeps glaring at you, picks up the salt, and slowly pours it over your head. Begone, slug.
I already hit you once. Be very careful. And then I do the, in Legend of Korra, the water tribe watching you thing.
Oh yeah. I think that was an airbender as well.
Yeah, it was. Yes. Sokka does it? No, Katara does it.
Okay,
Sokka says water tribe.
Anyway. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. That didn't go entirely to plan. There are 2 other opponents we have for this.
Yep, that's right. 2 others.
Another team of people and the tree, yeah?
Yep, so you've got the Pastor Dwarfs, who include General Peter, and of course the Wooden Chef.
Okay.
I would like to say by this point, Parfait has heated up 2 briquettes of charcoal and stuck them inside Jeremy to give him glowing angry eyes.
Perfect. Roll me intimidation, please.
19.
Okay, I'm just gonna... Well. Just out of the corner of your eye, you actually see one of the Pastor Dwarves trying to sneak towards. Well, you just sort of see. Well, you just basically hear a. It's just one of the Pastor Dwarves who's been trying to sneak into your sort of work area. Seen Jeremy and just sort of done a double take and given themselves away.
But I recognize this as the same dwarf from last night.
Actually, roll me insight.
Oh, 9.
You aren't sure?
I'll just give him an angry look and kind of slightly raise my bow.
Angle Jeremy round to also give an angry look.
Yep.
Now I have to move my chair back in position. I didn't think this through.
So I think for all of this, whilst everyone's starting to prepare their stuff, Frida's going to be like stirring up a cake batter or something, and at the same time be dancing all around the kitchen, just like singing and looking, trying to distract as much as possible everyone in the entire place so that they get put off their own cooking.
Okay, we'll call this a performance check.
Doing bad things. Nice.
Yeah, she just really enjoys cooking, mate. That is a 13, but I'm going to use inspiration because I want this to work.
Okay.
And that is a dirty 20.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm just going to lower all their rolls by 5 for that. Functionally, that's a disadvantage, but it's a bit easier because I don't have to roll twice as many times.
La-di-da, 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 I'm baking a cake.
Okay. So my plans from earlier got kind of shunted by my abysmal failures. But I've got 2 things I want to do.
You got assaulted for your trouble. Carry on.
Already assaulted.
The first thing I would like to do is attempt to set up during all of this shenanigans time, the break. I want to take a spare piece of firewood, place it
Okay.
as close as I feasibly can to the magical fire that the tree is using,
Okay.
with a flask of oil set on top of it. Open flask of oil, so that when the tree is doing tree things, it's going to at some point when it's preparing its cake stuff, it's going to knock the loose wood, and the oil is just going to spill, and then there will be an open like fire just raging.
Okay.
And
give me a stealth check. That. Sorry, go on.
Because that'll just distract it long enough for the thing. People will be able to put the fire out. It'd be great. Stealth check, you said.
Okay. Yep, stealth check just to put that in place without getting caught.
See,
Keep in mind, if you fail enough of these checks, you're probably going to get yourself disqualified at least.
it's not.
That's an 11, and I'm not going to do the other thing because that's a failure.
Yep. Yep, passive perception is 14, so the woodwoe just sort of turns to you.
Don't mind me.
Sort of tilts its little... It just sort of tilts its little bark head, and it looks very disappointed in you.
Don't mind me. And I just scurry away. That's it. I have attempted.
Okay. Is anyone doing anything else?
Do I see Naeve come back at some point covered in salt?
Yes.
I might catch Naeve at some point, but who did that to you?
It's nothing. It's no matter.
I mean, if you had an accident, there's no need to be embarrassed about it. Just don't know what you think of anyone else picking on you, that's all.
It's okay. Knives just blend into background. And Knives doesn't refer to himself in the third person. That's a Gleck habit. I blend into background. It's fine. Do not worry. I'm sure there will be no more problems. I stick close to you. Yes.
Well, if you like.
New plan has formed.
Sully is precious.
Yeah.
Right. So, yep, in that case, I think at that point we're going to begin the round. So, obviously, since this is the main event, it's going to be divided into three sort of phases.
Has everyone had
The mixing phase.
Faerdibelle hasn't.
Oh, yep. Sorry, I thought everyone. Okay, yep. Faerdibelle, you got anything?
Faerdibelle. Now that it's become clear that another team sabotaged Faerdibelle's 5 during the previous round, she kind of realizes that she has to take it at least a little bit more seriously to maximize their chances of winning. And yeah, she's gonna try to just like Naeve kind of like try to sabotage it. But yeah, she saw Naeve fail at their attempt to distract the wooden chef by starting a fire, and she thinks like, I can do that better.
Oh no.
But
Anything you do, I can do better. I can do a better sabotage than you. Sorry, go on.
No, you cannot.
But yes, I think the best idea I've had for this is, can you kind of describe what the wooden chef's area is like, with where they're working and where their fire is for baking the cake, etc.?
Yep. It's basically just sort of like there's a sort of a bench, and then there's the oven next to it with the fire below it, and they just have just another bench to their right, which is covered in their tools, and yeah, it's all very sort of neatly laid out.
Okay. And is the wooden chef kind of standing in front of the fire for baking the cake, or?
Yep, they're moving sort of around. They're moving sort of from their prep area to their tool area, and they're checking on their oven to make sure it's up to heat and all that. They have several idle animations.
I'm thinking, like, could Mage Hand be cast in such a way that it can manipulate the fire, or the kindling, whatever is on fire, without the wooden chef being able to see it?
Okay, do you have an ability that makes your mage hand invisible?
I don't think so.
No.
But could it be like placed within the fire so that it's not seeable really as much.
Does a mage hand have health, or is it just sort of indestructible?
It's
I think it's indestructible.
It's not really stated either way.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow this then.
So
I mean, I'll basically make this a sleight of hand check then to use mage hand.
yeah, so she's going to cast Mage Hand to make it appear right within whatever is on fire within the oven or whatever, and kind of like try to move it around so that it looks like the fire is suddenly like sparking a lot and like bits of it are flying everywhere and outside of the oven onto whatever is in front of it.
This is good. Give me a yes. Yep, give me a. Oh, sorry. That will be a intelligence because you're using a spell. Sleight of hand check, please.
Intelligence, sleight of hand. I'm a bit confused at what you're saying there. Isn't sleight of hand dexterity?
In this instant, you're going to be rolling it with intelligence.
Okay, then I check what fire will be. Oh,
Yes, replace your dex modifier with your intelligence modifier.
Yeah.
Then that improves it for Faerdibelle.
Yeah. Basically, if you're proficient with sleight of hand, you can add your proficiency bonus, and you then use your intelligence modifier.
Well, it's just gonna be +3 instead of a +2. She's not proficient with it.
Yeah. Okay.
The first roll is awful, so she's going to use her inspiration on it. And that is
Okay,
a natural 20 +3.
Okay.
Woo!
Yep. Yep. That's. I don't think anyone's going to be noticing that.
Woo!
The wooden chef just is just leaning over their oven, and you just manifest your mage hand inside the fire, and just sort of blast it with sparks, and yep, they're sort of distracted, trying to put themselves out.
and she very quietly cackles to herself.
Ooh. Now that's an evil laugh and a half. Congratulations, you've burnt the wooden chef.
I personally feel bad. Faerdibelle does not whatsoever.
Yep. I think this looks like an accident, but it's going to be enough to take the wooden chef out of the out of this sort of initial round. So this is basically, we're going to sort of split this into 3 rounds. The first round is mixing. You sort of, just general prep for your ingredients. So you need to decide what sort of cake you're making.
We have a lot of delicious fave fruits. I recommend we use those. Yes, they look delicious.
I mean, it's definitely going to be something fruity. Maybe we can make some sort of a fruit compote or something with maybe a sponge of some kind, maybe.
Oh, is that what pineapple upside down cake is?
Ooh, did we get anything pineapple-y?
I mean, I assume we have a bunch
question.
of sweet fruits. Yeah.
Yeah.
While they're deciding what kind of cake, Parfait realizes people are kind of messing with our chances to win, so he's going to duck behind our little baking counter and use disguise self to make him look like a skeleton, just to throw people off.
Okay. Roll me intimidation, please. At advantage because you're a skeleton, and we all know skeletons are terrifying unless you're friends with them.
13.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say combined with Jeremy as a little display. Yep, that's probably going to keep you quite safe.
And this has just given me a wonderful idea of, because Frida has a disguise kit as a bard, and she will like duck behind a curtain and come back in full like proper patisserie chef regalia.
Amazing.
To like intimidate the whole room into being like, I am the one that is going to win this. This is my domain. You are in it now.
Yeah. I won't give you any specific mechanical advantage yet, but remind me if next time I ask you to roll intimidation that you've got advantage.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So if we could get that roll for preparing the ingredients, if you've decided what you're up to.
I mean, Parfait, you're still the one with the tools, so I'd suggest you be the roller.
Oh, of course. Did we decide what we're doing?
I think we're going for a fruit upside down cake.
Sounds good.
Yep. Sounds good.
That makes
If I recall correctly, Yeah, it's so cool because you basically put the topping on the bottom, pour over the batter, and then when it's baked, you turn it upside down, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, tartatin. Delicious.
Right now.
Amazing.
But that makes sense with the fact that we have fruit for ingredients. But I was otherwise going to suggest, since the cake is being prepared by Herringon, that it could be a carrot cake.
Carrot cakes are nice.
Do we have any carrots?
Yep, you probably have carrots. Like, they're a fairly common crop.
Well, it's a little cliche, but I do make a decent carrot cake.
It would be a shame not to use the special fruit, though. Yes.
Or maybe we could do it a tiered thing. Like we've got the cakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The top bit be a small carrot cake with the carrot poking out the top.
Oh my god, fancy druid wedding cake, and then give it to the archdruid and be like, oh, belated wedding present.
I think someone else is going to have to hand off the food when it's done, though. Considering I'm more bony than usual.
Well, if you make a big cake, I'll carry it over. That's no problem.
All right, now.
Okay, so
how
you're
do I roll
basically
this
doing
again?
sort of yep. What was that? Sorry, Parfait.
I was just wondering how I roll for this again.
Okay, so that's going to be your it's going to be your proficiency, and we'll call this we'll call this intelligence because you're just sort of prep work, sort of a very mechanical. In fact, no, we'll call this dexterity because you're basically just sort of chopping everything up.
All right, and I also want to take out the magic spoon, kind of dip it in the batter, and use it to see if it's been poisoned or tampered with.
Very smart.
Nice.
So, you activate your spoon. You basically put your finger over a sort of a specific patch, and you just feel it sort of glow. And as you stir it, you just stir your batter. You just sort of get the intrinsic feeling that there's no poison in there. And the spoon just goes back to being a normal spoon for now.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like anyone's tampered with this, so let's keep going. And intelligence plus proficiency?
Give me your roll. Dexterity plus proficiency, please. Sorry, I changed it.
Okay.
Very unprofessional.
Natural 20 for a total of 26.
Nice.
Yep, that's going to be good. Okay, is anyone doing anything else?
I would like to approach the Ironwood chefs again.
Okay, the Ironwood chef is a sort of they've sort of just finished putting the fire out, and they're hastily trying to sort of do some prep work.
But not the tree, the other druid chef people.
Oh, the Ironwood chef. Sorry. Yep. Okay, you're approaching them openly, or?
Oh, openly, very openly. I'm making sure that I'm seen by as many people as possible.
Yep. So Charlotte sees you approaching and says, "What do you want?"
It is going very well. You'll be so mean to me. I am here to wish you good luck on this final round and maybe see how you're doing, yeah? Having fun.
Make me a deception check at disadvantage, please.
Let me just double check more proficiency for that because I'm still don't have them memorized. Plus 6. Come on. Why? That's my second natural one. I'm gonna stop using that. Where's my dice? Where are my
Dice jail.
I don't have a digital jail, otherwise that would go to jail.
Yeah. She just sort of tilts her head and looks at you like she just saw you on the bottom of her shoe. I'm just going to stand there and look very awkward. Because that bit there was more for her. The crowd has seen me approach and they've seen us have a conversation, and now I'm stood there looking awkward. That's it. Okay. I'm very interested to see what this plan is. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, can I a reaction if it's going in rounds?
Well, this isn't really sort of round. It's more like phase. It's not rounds as in combat rounds. It's just sort of like phases. Yeah, that was like phase 1. I am done, by the way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, without... You can still have a reaction, though. Yeah, I mean, without combat, it would just be like a burst of 6 seconds, but that would be long enough anyway. I just wanted to do like a reaction because she's got this magic awareness
that can go off in little bursts where you sort of suddenly clock within 60 foot any spell or magic item. But I wanted to kind of, if I could store that as a reaction, if Sully sees anybody sort of coming near the intimidation crew haven't gotten to as much, or if it looks like there are any shenanigans going off, she can just ping that instantly to check no one's doing anything magic rather than physical poison.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. If that's everything, I'm just gonna, well, I've rolled for the wars, the chef's out of this. Okay, so with your 26, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, with your 26, you've basically won this round. So yep, the druid sort of looks around and says, "Oh, splendid. Yes, excellent. Oh, I see you're zesting those, extracting the juices. Oh, interesting. Do I see multiple? Ooh, is that fey flower? Amazing. Do I sort of sense you're doing a multiple tier thing? Very impressive indeed. Oh, carry it. Look at this. Wow. And carry it. Sort of looking at the ironwood druids, and he's like,
yeah, excellent technique. Although, yeah.
But he's pretty much agrees with the arch sort of druid that yours, your prep work's a bit more ambitious. And then the sort of Nilixie, I think that's her name. I keep forgetting her name because I'm very bad with names. Nilixie, that was it. Nilixie is sort of looking at the ironwood druids, the pasta dwarves, and they're sort of they appear to be making some sort of sweet bolognese, sort of a sweet pasta dish. You know what I mean? And she's just sort of like, yes, I see that you're boiling that water. The water is boiled, and yes, you're softening your pasta in there. Yes, that is a thing you're doing. Most impressive. She's looking very bored. And Camus is just sort of comforting the wooden chef, and they're sort of they look quite, after getting burnt, they're looking a bit downtrodden, but sorry, did you say something, Naeve?
No.
Oh, okay. They're looking a bit downtrodden, but then Camus just walked up to them and just sort of made a sort of like halfway between a hoot and a growl, and just nuzzled against them a bit, and they seem like they're feeling a lot better, and they're still in the game. But mark down that you won one round. Okay, so round 2 is baking. This is when obviously you take the ingredients you've prepped and actually, mix them together, and you need to get them in the oven, and you need to have them sort of, you need to get the timing right. So, who's going to be doing that first of all?
One of the bakers, I assume.
Yeah, I suppose Parfait will probably be doing the actual baking and watching everything like a hawk.
Okay, this will be, I'll make this wisdom plus your proficiency score then, please, if you'd like to roll that. And would anyone like to do anything else?
Yes. I would like to... Well, what I say to them is largely irrelevant, because that's not really the check. I would like to, approach the 23. Do you want to resolve that?
What was that? Sorry. No, this will become relevant next round.
Okay, cool. In which case, approach the countertop. Just put one hand on it and be like, I should probably go now. I wish you best of luck. Have all the funds, yes? And just nod with a big, very obvious smile. Be very friendly.
Yeah, I love Naeve. Okay. They're all looking you down.
Did they say anything in return?
Yeah, I'm going to say Shallot's going to just sort of take a step over to you and say, I thought I told you to get lost, slug.
Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a deep breath. And when before they turn away to be facing everyone else again, gonna wink wink at her in reply, and then walk away like in these great big heaving sobs. Making it be like for Sully, actually. Like, I don't know why. I just try to be nice to them. Where is my friend? And just making a very loud display of how horrible they've been to me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And this is just to motivate Sully, is that correct?
The reasons are twofold. The one, I want everybody to think that they are absolutely horrible people who should not be given a chance at a competition. And two, motivate Sully.
Okay, give me a performance check then, please, just to sell that.
Oh, not deception?
Yep, you know what, yeah, charisma deception.
Sweet. Okay, the flat was a 12. What's my deception? Because I do have expertise in it. 6, so 18.
Yep, that'll do it. Sully, you're definitely fooled, and yep, there's a bit of muttering from the crowd, and yep, the judges are all looking at them disapprovingly.
They call me a slag! They threw me with salt! I don't know what is going on!
Like, 7 foot barbarian squats down to like kobold height. Like, was it? Them Ironwood druids doing that?
And I should nod emphatically. No more coherent words coming out. Yes.
Sully stuns back up and yells.
Go on.
Alright. Stands back up, yells across the, like, I'm imagining, is it sort of like a stage where all the prep areas are, sort of thing?
Yeah. It's basically sort of like there's a stage in front where the judges are, and it's just the prep areas are all in front, sort of separated by curtains and stuff.
Like, oi! You thieving weasels! We already gave you one chance, and now you want to start with my lovely little friend here. I'm having none of it, I tell you. One of you come over here and apologise to them right now.
Okay, and I'm going to say the archdruid at this point, and the paladin look up and he says, well, I say this is most unsporting. Yes, thank you. Thank you. He remembers his husband's name, I do not.
Sully just stood in front of the Ironwood chef's prep area now. Like, maybe not getting in the way if they're quite nimble, but otherwise she's just absolutely glaring daggers at them.
Okay. Roll me intimidation to call them out.
Does the advantage apply?
That's... Well, yeah, I'll say
Frida's, isn't it?
Yeah, that applies to Frida, but I'll say if Frida's backing her up, that you can have advantage that way.
Well, I was going to suggest, because Sully's a barbarian, maybe she could use strength instead of charisma for the intimidation.
She is using her imposing figure.
Yeah, and she's probably also using her lungs, so yep, I'll allow that. Strength intimidation, please.
Oh my god, no joke, I got a nat 20.
Okay, and what's the total on that, please?
So 22.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna roll insight for the Ironwood druid.
Wasn't even my best dice.
Wow, that is garbo. Yep, so Charlotte just sort of stops, freezes up, looks around, and she just sort of, she just has that like deer in the headlights look of someone who realises that the crowd's turning on them. So she just sort of bangs her head down, steps forward, looks at Sully, nods, turns to Naeve, and just crouches down and says, I'm awfully sorry, that was very unbecoming of me.
I am.
Like she means it. Does she look like she means it? Or is she like giving him stink eye? Stink eye.
Roll me insight.
18.
She is absolutely trying to fake it.
Lean down a minute. No, you listen to me, you muck pile. Apologise properly.
I'm terribly sorry for my misconduct, and I wish you the best in this contest. She is shaking slightly at this point.
Like Sully will turn to Naeve.
At this point, you hear a boo from the crowd aimed at her.
So I'm
in response, I'm going to take a big heaving breath of a sob of a breath, and then I say, I understand. Yes, and give her a very quick hug, awkward pat on the back, and then I'm gonna go find a spot that's just slightly out of the way of our prep area, and I'm just gonna sit there and look dejected.
You hear the crowd just like there's enough people going that it's just audible. And like, if this was obviously being filmed, this is probably going to get its entire 5-minute segment and its own hashtag on Twitter, or whatever everyone happens to be using. Like, all the all the birds are going to be gossiping about this all across the forest.
Girl network.
So while all this is going on, I think Frida is going to take the opportunity to, for some reason, needs to go past the pasta dwarfs, and maybe she's going to get some trays or something for the baking. And, just give some little chatter as she's going by. Oh, hello, boys. Nice to see you. This is a wonderful competition, isn't it? And that is her casting friends. She goes past.
Okay.
And when she comes back with the trays, she's going to look down at their whatever they've been mixing, whatever they've been preparing to put into the oven. Kind of, oh no, you're not doing it like that. Oh dear, no. Look, this is all wrong. You clearly don't know what you're doing, do you? And try and intimidate them into believing they've messed it up and they have to redo it, throw off all their timing and distract them.
Okay, well, you already had advantage on Intimidate, but Friends gives you advantage, so roll away, Charisma Intimidation.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
But with the added bonus of they'll be angry at you in 60 seconds, maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning on that too, so it's a double barrel. Okay.
Oh, you want the angry? Now I'm interested.
Well, yeah, if people get too frustrated, they'll slip up.
Even with the advantage, that's only a 13.
Ooh, will that work? Yeah, I'm gonna roll insight for them. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Luckily, their wisdom is Garbo.
And the thinking on the friends thing that's going to make them hostile after a minute is that by the time she's passed and she's back at the bench, they all suddenly get very angry at her, and angry chefs are not in control of what they're doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're tilting.
Mm.
You can see the sweat just pouring down their brows, and they're trying to get their pasta just right, and they're trying to do the sauce delicately, but well, we'll see what the dice say about this. But yeah, you've successfully got both of them rolling at both the Ironwood Druids and the pasta dwarves rolling at disadvantage. Ooh. Okay, and last of all, is anyone else doing anything?
Parfait is currently...
Sorry, go on, Parfait.
Parfait is currently wondering what a cross-eyed skeleton looks like as he's just trying to go cross-eyed intentionally.
Yeah. Useful. Okay, anything from Faerdibelle?
Great question. Can you kind of give an overview of... We've been hearing a lot about what the other teams have been doing and how they've been judged so far, etc. Can you kind of give a status of where they are in their process at the moment?
Okay, so your team, obviously, you've prepared the ingredients, you mixed up your cake, so your sort of batter's in the oven and just cooking. The Ironwood Druids have basically been thrown off their game, but they were sort of preparing a trifle sort of thing, and you can sort of tell that they're just about managing to sort of keep an eye on everything. The pasta dwarves are obviously, as I said, they're not doing very well at all, but they're trying to sort of mix up, bring together their sweet pasta. And the wooden chef is having been given a sort of a morale boost by Camus. Camus just make some very profound roars, so no one can really sort of, just to cover up its sobs, so no one's gonna be gossiping about those. And the Ironwood Chef, is just sort of it's not its best round, but seems to be well underway.
So there's the Wooden Chef and the Ironwood Chef are separate, because I was kind of conflating.
Yeah, the Ironwood Druids are a separate faction, and the Wooden Chef is like the local returning champion sort of thing.
Okay.
I'm going to try and gaslight the Woodwode into thinking the accident was its own fault or something. I can feel Sully judging me for saying that.
Logic tree.
Guilty of treason.
Kind of depends on like the biggest threat at the moment.
Well, the Ironwood Druids and the Pasta Dwarves have both been kind of dealt with this round, so it kind of leaves just the Wooden Chef that hasn't had any interaction.
Okay. But Bree did say that the Ironwood Chefs were kind of just about hanging on, or trying to keep on top.
So whatever you do, if you succeed, then it's good for us. So, what's Faerdibelle feeling?
I think Faerdibelle is gonna kind of double down on dealing with this Wooden Chef, since he won the first round and seems the biggest opponent, enemy, he seems to have the biggest chance. So yeah, Faerdibelle's gonna fly over to the Wooden Chef and kind of go, "Oh my gosh, I saw what happened. I'm so sorry about the fire, and oh gosh, that must be horrible. I'm sure it wasn't your fault. I mean, everyone can make mistakes, but that was just, I'm so sorry for you. I hope you can get through it and get over it." She's kind of just trying to subtly kind of talk him down while still kind of trying to be nice, if you get what I mean.
Oh my god, you're nagging the tree.
Yeah, just give him some backwards of backhanded compliments or reassurance.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll call this charisma or intimidation, because you're trying to destroy their morale.
Okay, not her forte, but well, that's an 18.
Oh damn!
And that was with a +1, so this.
Yep. That easily beats its passive insight. So, yep. It just sort of cheerfully listens to your words and just looks very dejected. And while it's looking dejected, the sort of the pastry case it had in the oven just sort of starts to burn a little.
Yeah, distraction.
Good job breaking it, hero.
And she flies.
Okay. Oh yeah, Naeve. Since you are near the Ironwood Druids, could you just give me a perception check? We'll get to that in a second. Don't worry about it.
Interesting.
You were saying Faerdibelle?
Oh, I was just saying that Faerdibelle flies away again, and she's very quietly snickering.
Evil. Okay. So, I believe the roll for the prep was, the cooking was 24, is that right, Parfait?
23.
Oh, 23. Okay, Enfys in chat saying they rolled 12 for perception, so, yep, you don't see anything. Don't worry about it.
I'm busy drawing in the dirt with one of my claw fingers.
Yeah. So everyone sort of, they start sort of finishing the actual sort of cooking part of the equation. So you pull out the sponges and all the other tiers of cake from the oven, and they're perfectly formed. They just slide straight out of the baking tins onto the cooling racks, and there's a lovely aroma in the air. Yep. The archdruid just sort of walks through, nodding impressed, and Camus just sort of nuzzles up and starts sniffing at your handiwork, but obviously because he's a very well trained owlbear, he doesn't actually try and eat it or anything.
Parfait's face could show any emotion right now, he'd be smiling.
Yep. The Ironwood Druids Well, they've sort of they've sort of done their sort of job. Their like the jam for their trifles mixed up. They've got the custard. Carrier just sort of walks up and just sort of samples a bit of the custard and just shrugs.
This is okay. You'll do. Good job.
And everyone, the dryad is sort of just comforting the wooden chef who's really not having a good day. But he's just about managed to sort of scrape the burns off a pastry case and start filling it with like a sort of a syrupy concoction. It looks like he's going for a treacle tart. And last and least are the pasta dwarves, who've basically had to start doing their pasta again because they overcooked it, and their sauce is looking a little burnt. Yeah, they just left it on the pan for just a bit too long, and it's because it's a very light sauce. It's very obviously got brown in it. And that brings us to the final round. It's time to plate and decorate your creations. So first of all, obviously you've got some perfectly formed sponges. You've got presumably some nice sort of candied peels to decorate it with. Who's going to be sort of putting this all together?
Well, Parfait is exceptionally proud of how the cakes came out, so if nobody has any objections, he'd like to work on decorating it.
Okay, that's lovely. Sorry, go on.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay.
I think Frida's going to be doing the social thing again and wander around, checking out all the competitions, see who the biggest threat is.
Okay, Frida, give me an investigation check, please.
That is an 8.
The wooden chef's absolutely dominated in this competition.
Oh no. Oh no. So she's gonna pick out the wooden chef as being, she thinks he's the biggest trouble for us, and is gonna go over and cast Charm Person and just start talking to them. Specifically Charm Person because it lasts for an hour rather than Friend, which is only a minute. So that is a DC.
Can you give me the rules for Charm Person, please?
Okay.
If you'd just like to read those out.
Yeah, so it is... you attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. It must make a wisdom saving throw and does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. If it fails the saving throw, it is charmed by you until the spell ends or you or your companions do anything harmful. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. So it's a DC 14 saving.
Yep, DC 14.
Wisdom.
So, there's no fight going on, so no disadvantage. So I'll just roll that. It's a, did you say it's a wisdom? A wisdom saving throw? Yeah. Wisdom. No will saves here.
Because I imagine it's her spell, so Frida would know this, but would it work on a woodwode because is it humanoid?
Thank you for ruining my fun, Enfys.
Oh, are they not humanoid?
No, it's not going to work.
Sorry, but Frida would know that, though, to be fair, so...
A woodwode's not humanoid, they look humanoid.
Yeah, you know what? Make me a nature check, if you like.
Okay.
That being said, you are the DM, and if you want to say it works like anyway in this one instance...
That's only a 4 on the nature check.
You're pretty sure that Charm Person would work on a tree.
Okay. Well, she'll go for it regardless. And I mean she'll still try and it's basically just trying to distract it. So that it, like, she's being friendly, like not intimidating, not any of that sort of jazz, just trying to distract it.
Yeah. Just give me a persuasion check, a charisma persuasion check at disadvantage then, please.
Okay. I did get +6 to persuasion, so okay, that's gonna be that's a 9.
Yeah. It's just thoroughly not impressed. Maybe it just feels a bit down. Sorry, what was that?
She just ends up wasting her time. Distracts herself.
Yeah, I'm afraid you wasted your time. But roll me perception, by the way, please.
That's an 8. Okay, this dice is going away. It was going so well until now.
No.
Yep, you don't notice anything. Okay, so Parfait, sorry, I should have said this earlier. Could you give me a proficiency plus dexterity? No, wait, proficiency plus charisma to just, nail that presentation.
17.
Nice. Okay, and would anyone like to do anything else?
I've been racking my brain to think of one more thing that I could try to pull off, and I can't think of anything that's not going to ruin like the atmosphere of what I've already set up. So I'm staying where I am.
Okay.
Intrusive thought of like, what if I shook Faerdibelle over the cake for edible glitter? But I'm like, no, don't do that.
Do it.
I mean,
do it.
Would that work?
I say yes because that's funny.
Faerdibelle works above the above the cake.
Faerdibelle, please roll me charisma performance.
The good rolls had to end. That's a 6.
Okay, Faerdibelle, you try to sort of twerk above the cake to cover it with fairy glitter, but you just sort of you just fly over a bit too enthusiastically and you just knock into one of the curtains. You aren't injured or anything, but you do fall to the ground and look a bit silly.
Oh my, I lost my composure there.
That was a good effort, though. You put your whole unmentionables into it.
Okay.
Oh,
does anyone want to try anything else to influence the... Sorry, Faerdibelle.
Oh, I was just laughing, but I guess you could hear most.
How's something I would like to do?
Okay, Naeve.
When the judge comes round to ours to have their tastes and whatnot and to judge it, I want to be just stood like between our two chaps, hands like on the countertop and just looking up in the most wide-eyed, pathetic way possible.
Oh. We'll call this performance.
Okay.
Charisma performance, that is.
Yeah, I figured it would be charisma. It is. I'm not even going to try to swing that into another stat because it just is charisma. That's all that charisma does. Okay. Rainbow dice, don't let me down now.
Going on here.
Come on, queer dice, we believe in you.
13 total.
Okay. You do look pathetic, although not necessarily enough to just, tear someone's heart in twain and make them feel sorry for you.
I tried.
Yep. As the archdruid walks past you, he just says, "Oh dear, oh dear."
Shut up.
And the paladin just gives you a cheeky nod and closes his visor again.
Don't
Since
tell
you're
the cop where to go.
near
Don't tell the cop where to go. Don't tell the cop where to go.
Since you're probably nearer the well, did you say you're halfway between the other?
Yeah. I moved from my previous spot, which was near the edge of our prep area towards the Ironwood Druids. I've now stood in between like Parfait and Frida in order to get that extra adorableness going.
Ah, okay. Well, just give me a perception roll, please.
Sure. 12.
Yep. Oh, actually, and we'll also get a perception roll from Faerdibelle, please.
A perception roll? A 14 for perception.
Okay, you don't really hear anything, but you could have sworn you heard a ticking. Maybe it's just the mechanism for the bell.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Does anyone have anything else?
I don't...
Object awareness for me.
Can we still do something?
If you got anything.
I mean, well, Faerdibelle, if she hears ticking and she takes it, so it might be unusual, she might investigate.
Yeah, give me a intelligence investigation check then, please. At disadvantage because you're not really sure what you're looking for.
Intelligence investigation. Disadvantage? Oh, that's a 9.
Okay. Yep, you definitely heard a ticking, but it doesn't seem to be anything important. But yep, the time has come to present your desserts. So I'm just going to roll for everyone. No one really sort of got successfully sabotaged, so... Okay, this is going to be close. So, you all present your desserts to the judges. First up is the Ironwood Druids, who present their trifle. And like, the trifle's okay. Like, the judges all try it. The archdruid just tastes it, and sort of praises the sponge and the custard. The dryad concedes it's a fairly textbook trifle, and Camus just sort of licks it, but doesn't do anything else. Next up is the wooden chef, who's unfortunately his treacle tart still is a little burnt, and he can sort of salvage it. So like, unfortunately the judges just he gives some good feedback, but they just can't find it in their hearts to say it's a good dessert. And so then it comes down to the pasta dwarves and their sweet spaghetti and your layered cake. So you present your layered cake, and as soon as the archdruid tries it, he just sort of digs his fork into the various layers and says, "Oh, I say, this is some sponge. Carry it, try this.
Whoa.
Yep, they're clearly quite blown away by it. Similarly, what's the dryad's name again?
Sully.
Yep, Sully tries a bit of the cake. And, she's clearly sort of not being that enthusiastic about judging, but she just sort of, you actually sometimes sort of feel like maybe you might even be able to sort of get some influence from her later on, us, sort of offer cake somewhere down the line just to get her to do what owe you a favour. Yep, and Camus just sniffs it and just swallows half it, just bites an entire layer, almost the size of his head. And Parfait, you're called. The judges call you forward, and one at a time, they all sort of just extend their hand and offer you a handshake.
And as I shake their hand, I will drop disguise self and just have the biggest stupid smile on my face and say, thank you so much.
Yep. The crowd just erupts into applause. Yep. But obviously you are not the final contestant, so up next is the pasta dwarves and their sweet pasta. So it's first offered to Camus, who obviously an owlbear can't use a fork, but a bit is twizzled and dangled in front, and it just sort of he just sort of sniffs it, and just licks it, swallows a bit, and just gives a sort of a content growl. And Sully tries a bit, nods, compliments the sort of sweetness of the flavour, and the agrees that going back and redoing the pasta was a very good move. And finally, the archdruid just tries it and says, "Carry it. I think this is more your sort of thing. You always liked the sort of dwarven cuisine."
It's okay.
And with that, the judges sort of get together. They spend a few minutes deliberating, but there's no real contest. They all move over to the Airedale work area and loudly declare you the winners.
Congratulations to Parfait and the rest of Faerdibelle's 5.
Are you named after the cheese?
Oh, I suppose it doesn't matter. Anyway, carry it, if you could. Your prize, I present to you.
And he turns specifically to Parfait, since he was the chef.
The flap jacket.
And holds up a suit of, it's... If you ever heard the phrase druid made, this would definitely apply. It's, it looks like a sort of, it resembles sort of leather armor, although it's got some sort of bark plates which could be removed to make it maybe sort of half plate, and it's covered in pockets. And it's basically explained to you that every morning you can reach into the pocket and you'll have one delicious sort of sweet treat which will sustain you throughout the day, and it even adjusts to flavour. Although you will still need to provide your own water.
Amazing. And Parfait will just kind of be hopping side to side around and getting a good look at the flap jacket from all different angles. Just his ears are just like straight up, and he is just beaming.
And then the Dryad just pipes up and says, "Oh yes, I was put in charge of this, of course," and just puts a large bag of money on the counter as well, with very little pomp and ceremony. And that's just 400 silver pieces.
Oh, that.
Oh.
Now, yep, obviously this has all gone very well, but could you all give me one last perception check?
Natural 20-25.
You're on fire at the end here. I've got a 14.
I also got 14.
Okay, Parfait. Oh, sorry, go on.
14 for Faerdibelle as well.
It's a lot of 14s.
Sully?
Has anyone not rolled?
I think Sully.
Yeah, got a 17.
Okay, Parfait and Sully, you're both probably going to hear this. Okay, so Parfait, your rabbit ears prick up, and you hear what's very clearly a ticking noise. And Sully, you see the ironwood druids immediately rushing towards the middle of just sort of towards the stage. And Charlotte just stands up looking very smug and says, so we've lost. So what? Our plan is nearing its completion. General Peter, the bomb. And with that, General Peter, from the Pastor Dwarves, immediately jumps forwards with a woohoo and lands on a flagpole, and it just sort of lifts a there's a sort of a little click, and with that the stage just the sides of the stage fall away to reveal underneath the stage is a large, it's just literally just a barrel full of presumably black powder and some sort of timer device which is slowly ticking. As you can see, it's all over. Now we'll be taking the prize money and we'll be keeping the kobold as a hostage.
Oh. How big is the stage?
It's just sort of about the size of there was just enough room for the judges to be sat on it. Obviously they weren't standing on it at the time, but the tables have all fallen off. And the barrel is about, it was on its side and just sort of the height of the stage.
Give me a quick refresher. Where is everyone standing? Did we accept the prize and the prize money on the stage, or?
No, you accepted it in your work area, which the judges all moved to. So I'm going to say you're probably about 50 feet away from the explosive itself.
So, is anyone on or near the stage?
The sort of crowd is a lot nearer to the stage.
So Parfait is just going to scream out real loud, everyone get away from the stage, it's a bomb!
Okay, roll me a persuasion check, please. Charisma. With advantage because all eyes are already on you.
18.
Yep, that'll do it. The crowd immediately starts moving away. Some people are sort of panicking a bit, but they sort of, just calm down and the crowd just gets away in an orderly manner. And Charlotte just holds up some sort of, it sort of looks like a wand, but it's clearly the detonation device for the bomb. And she says, Can you
shoot it out of her hand? Or just
yeah, I'm going to say yes. Yep. What I'm going to say is, Naeve, please make me an athletics or dexterity check to avoid being grappled by one of the dwarves. Parfait, yep. Roll me an attack roll to try and shoot the detonator out of her hands. And if anyone else wants to do anything, go ahead. Mention it.
How far
25.
are we?
25 to hit.
Yep.
Wow. For a 25, yep, you absolutely nail it.
How far are we from them?
Okay, Enfys just put 19 dex save in the chat.
Am I not being heard?
Let me just...
I can hear you, Summer.
What, sorry?
There's a lot going on.
I'm trying to ask how far they are from us or how far we are from them.
Okay, so they're basically, they basically walked up to the, they were basically sort of in the crowd surrounding the your work area. So they're basically right next to you.
Right next to Faerdibelle specifically?
Yes.
Is there anyone else within a 15-foot cone?
I am right next to one of them because they just tried to grapple me.
Sounds like we're in a bit of a crowd.
They're right up close to you, so yeah, you're all in the blast area there. And Naeve, that was a
Oh wait, you didn't want to save, did you? You wanted an acrobatics. Hold up, let me change my modifier.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
If they grab Naeve's, I am wading in there.
17, by the way, instead of 19.
Oh yeah, that beats 15 to grapple you, so you managed to just wiggle out.
The detonation device, did I shoot it out of their hand or straight up destroy it?
It's basically been sort of it's shot out the hand, but the device itself is still ticking.
Faerdibelle screams, "How dare you steal our victory!" And she shoots a magic missile at... How many of them are there?
Oh, there's 3 druids and 3 dwarves.
She could shoot 4 at most with missile. Like the closest, I guess, the 4 closest.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say shooting them with magic missiles is probably enough for... sorry, who specifically are you going to shoot? The druids or the dwarves, or like a mix of the two, or...?
I guess a mix. I don't know. It kind of depends on who is where and who seems more threatening. Like it was the druids exactly who said like that they would be taking the money and taking Naeve hostage, right?
Yep. I'm gonna say between the fact that they've been magic missiled and the fact that Naeve managed to wiggle free, they've sort of backed off a bit now.
Yeah, she shot at 3 druids.
Okay, perfect. Yep, those are the leaders, so they're definitely going to sort of back off a bit.
Don't have to roll it.
No, magic missile just hits automatically. That's its thing.
Keep forgetting. Right. But don't have to roll damage either. I mean.
No, because we're not really in combat here. This is still a sort of a situation.
Okay.
Naeve spoke first.
Yes. I've just avoided a gravel, and somewhere nearby-ish to me there is a wand-like object that has just been brandished. But I'll be able to grab that and run to the machine while also calling out to Faerdibelle.
Yep.
Rogue speed. Wizard fairy, you follow me.
Oh yeah. Actually, make me a perception check on the dwarf that tried to grab you.
Oh, okay. 10.
Okay, you don't notice anything in particular.
That's fine. Has got my knife. He will die. But yeah, I've called out to the fairy because I need I'm well aware that the wizards are typically the most intelligent people in the party, and that is specifically their intelligence that I need right now.
Okay, yeah. She follows because she understands the gravity of the situation. Wants to...
And also, all of the kobold's ideas have been good, remember?
Yeah, she's actually kind of on board with the kobold somewhat.
Yeah, my intention here is to have Faerdibelle look at the bomb and figure out how to turn it off.
Okay, Charlotte basically, obviously she and her sort of goons have backed up a bit, but she's just sort of sneers. Oh, I don't think you'll find yourself able to do anything about that with my help. Just give me everything I came for, and we'll disarm it before we leave.
At that, Frida is going to square up to her, and she will cast Charm Person, DC 14 Wisdom save. Okay. And we'll work this.
Save might be an advantage of mine because we're not exactly on friendly terms at this point.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is going to be an advantage.
Okay.
Hey, that's not a great wisdom save, ironically, for a druid.
Lol, what?
Yep, they're not proficient with them.
That's wild.
Just using the NPC stat block. Oh wow. That is an 8 to save, so I guess that doesn't work.
So Frida will, get right up in their face and say, "You're going to tell us how to stop this? You're not going anywhere."
Okay, roll me intimidation with advantage.
Okay, come on. This is 5. Okay, it's a dirty 20, and dirty 20.
There's no actual way to stop it. We'll just go, as soon as you hand it over, we're just going to run and let you get blown to smithereens.
Well, then I suppose you're not going anywhere then, aren't you? You're going to stay here until it's sorted out.
Yep, and she's just shaking now. Okay, speaking of, Naeve and Faerdibelle, you approach the device.
I do have a proficiency in investigation, but I'm assuming that Faerdibelle's going to have a better modifier than me because her int is like through the roof.
Oh. For investigation, she doesn't have proficiency in that, and her intelligence is only a +3 modifier, so it's +3.
Oh, maybe then. Can we? What would we be rolling to try and figure this out?
Yeah, I think investigation intelligence does sound appropriate.
Insight roll here. I keep forgetting when.
I'd also allow thieves' tool proficiency for a rogue. Well, anyone with it really.
I'll take that. Wait, is that
that's intelligence.
Intelligence,
yeah,
thieves' tools, or dex?
Intelligence, thieves' tools, because obviously you're trying to work out how it works rather than trying to disassemble it.
Okay, in which case my modifiers are still managing to beat out Faerdibelle's, which is unfortunate. Can I have advantage from her help though, or not, because she's not proficient?
Since it's wizard offering intelligence aid, I'll say yes.
Okay, an advantage with a +3, +4.
Yep, and I'm allowing this because you're in very serious trouble if this bomb goes off.
Oh, what was my +4? 18 total.
Okay, for 18 total, you look around the bomb. You can sort of see, the whole thing's it's a massive keg of explosive. There's a detonator next to it, and next to it is a bag. Although you aren't immediately sure what to do with any of them.
Okay, so the investigation has just given me what these things are. Can I try to open the bag without triggering anything?
If you're going to try and open the bag, I'm going to say, yep, you can do that because it's just next to it.
Okay. What do I find in the bag?
You reach into the bag and you pull out you reach in and you feel something. Could you just give me a raw strength check to try and wrench it out?
Oh, raw strength? Oh, why you do this to me?
Rogue.
15 with that -1.
Oh, that's good. Imagine being a rogue and not making strength one of your stats.
Sorry, Ground. with your 29 strength.
But yeah, you pull out an entire beer barrel. It occurs to you that it shouldn't fit into a bag like that.
I'm immediately taking that bag. That bag is mine. No.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you right now. You've acquired a bag of holding.
The moment you said I pulled out a barrel, like yeah, okay, mine. Okay. Detonator device and a black powder keg. Are they connected in some way?
Yes.
Like wires or runes? Is it a magical conduit?
Right.
Is it?
It's like a mechanical sort of a connection. So it's basically like sort of a timekeeping device with a thank you for the raid, Dark Persona, by the way. It's like a timekeeping device, and it's just sort of like a mechanical detonator. So you can see like a vial of some sort of detonator cap connected to the actual sort of clockwork.
Can I see where how the clockwork is going to trigger the explosion?
Yep. You can just actually give me a Thieves' Tools proficiency just to investigate the clockwork a bit closer, please.
Hello, Neutral 19. Is that Dex or int?
This will be int again, I'm afraid.
Okay, so I'll take 2 off that, so it's +4 total, 23.
Bloody hell!
I've rolled a natural 19 there. This is the roundabout from all the nat ones I got earlier.
Okay, yep, for a 23, I'm going to say you just take a sort of a, like, you have a couple of sort of bent old lockpicks in your thieves' tools, and you just carefully insert one into the gears, and it's just jammed. So there's no immediate risk of it exploding anymore. But the device is still on the keg, so
yeah,
you still need to sort of remove it.
I have an idea.
Idea?
Yeah, while this was going on, Parfait saw the dryad back at the Snooty Dragonborn's cabin, like, start to pull up summon some vines. So Parfait would be thinking of heading up to the dryad and say, sorry, is there any way you can control some plants? Someone, like, maybe just move the bomb out of here?
Dryad sort of looks at you and says, where to? Somewhere in my forest to be destroyed instead?
No, I suppose that was a stupid question. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say if you can come up with a more sort of persuasive argument, she might consider your point. But her default is that she doesn't want her forest blown up, you know?
Yeah. Well, if we don't do anything, your forest is going to get blown up regardless. Is there any way you can lift it up high enough to where it won't do any damage, or is there can we bury it underground, or?
I don't know. The problem is, even if it's underground and it detonates, the shockwave would be, this area's never had an earthquake before, but, Faerdibelle, could you give me a raw intelligence check, since you're right next to it?
Raw intelligence check.
If it's all gunpowder, can't we just make the gunpowder wet?
What was that? Sorry, Sully?
If it's running on, like, the explosives are powder, could we make the powder wet somehow? Then it might not necessarily trigger.
Give me an Arcana roll, because I think this would be sort of like alchemy.
The 16.
Yep, for a 16, I'm going to say yes. That is something you can absolutely do.
Right. Do the work areas have sinks or any access to water, or has everyone?
Yeah, it was more. Well, obviously, it's a sort of like medieval level technology, but you do have buckets of water for cleaning.
Right, Sully's grabbing everything. Like, I'm sure she can carry on.
Okay. Yeah, I won't make you roll for that. You can just pour water over the bomb, and as the mechanism's been disabled, yeah, that dampens the powder, and it can just be easily be disassembled.
What was that you were saying about how there was no way to stop this? Silly elf.
And Charlotte angrily turns to General Pitter and says, "You told me this was full, but..." And she's immediately tackled by Camus.
What?
Yes, get him, Elbe. Eat their face.
And yeah, I think that's about it, really. I actually forgot to write an ending.
Oops.
Yep, you all just head back to the tavern and everyone gets drunk, I guess.
It's one of the things where everyone jumps in the air and then it freeze frames.
Faerdibelle,
Yeah.
Faerdibelle is sucking up to everyone before everyone leaves back to Airedale, and she's kind of boasting, "My team won."
Oh yeah, Faerdibelle, did you roll that intelligence check, by the way?
She did, and God, I've been having a lot of bad rolls suddenly. It was only a 10.
Okay, for a 10, I'm going to say you only realised this about 30 minutes later. But you could have suggested putting the bomb in the back of holding.
That would have been good, yes.
She's never going to admit that she didn't think of it in the moment. She's just going to be like, "Well, you did a great job handling that. I sure managed this very well."